Am I the a-hole for secretly DNA testing my entire family and revealing the results at Thanksgiving dinner after they called me a liar for years? For 10 years, my family has had a party trick. Whenever I'd get passionate about something, my Aunt Carol would pat my arm and say, "There she goes again, making things up," just like her mother, and everyone would laugh. It started right after my mom died. Her last words to me, whispered in the quiet of a sterile hospital room, were a confession. The man who raised me, the man I called Dad, wasn't my biological father. When I tearfully told my family what she'd said, they closed ranks. They told me I was hysterical, that grief was making me delusional. My dad looked wounded. My uncle told me I was spitting on my mother's memory, and from that day on, I was the family liar. Every disagreement, every debate ended with them dismissing me as the girl who imagines things. It was a slow, agonizing poison that eroded my confidence for a decade. This year, I decided I'd had enough. I was going to buy the truth, and I was going to serve it for Thanksgiving dinner. The plan required patience and a strong stomach. I spent months saving up for a dozen premium DNA test kits. 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I sent a cheerful email to the whole family. I told them I was doing a deep dive ancestry project to create a beautiful family tree to honor Mom's memory, and I'd love for everyone to participate. To my surprise, they loved the idea. They saw it as me finally letting go of my delusion. I mailed each household a kit, asking them to send their samples directly back to me so I could batch and mail them together to save on shipping. They all did it, completely clueless. The little vials of saliva felt like weapons. I carefully labeled each one and sent them off, paying extra for expedited results. The email with the subject line, "Your results are in," arrived the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I sat in my car, shaking as I opened the files. And there it was, in cold scientific certainty. My dad shared 0% of my DNA. But the real shock, the one that made me gasp for air, was the name that appeared under the father category. It was my Uncle Robert, my dad's brother, the man who had been the loudest, the most self-righteous, the one who had called me a liar more than anyone. Thanksgiving Day was a masterpiece of passive aggression. Everyone was sickeningly sweet to me, praising my healthy new hobby and the delicious turkey. I just smiled, my heart pounding a steady drumbeat of anticipation. After the main course, as everyone was getting their pie, I stood up and tapped my glass. "I have one more thing I'm thankful for this year," I announced, my voice clear and steady. The truth. I walked around the table, placing a crisp, sealed envelope in front of each family member. "As you all know, I've been working on a family tree project. These are the results. I thought we could all open them together." My dad laughed. "Still playing detective, huh?" But Aunt Carol, Robert's wife, looked nervous. On the count of 3, they tore open their envelopes. The silence that followed was the most satisfying sound I have ever heard. It was thick, heavy, and absolute. You could hear a pin drop over the sound of my aunt's sharp, strangled gasp. My dad just stared at his paper, his face crumbling as a decade of lies evaporated in front of his eyes. But my gaze was locked on my Uncle Robert. He was sheet white, staring at me with pure, unadulterated terror. Aunt Carol slowly turned her head to look at her husband, her expression unreadable. I let the silence hang for a few more seconds before picking up my purse. "Well," I said, my voice bright and cheerful, "as it turns out, I wasn't lying after all. You all have a wonderful Thanksgiving." I walked out of that house, leaving the smoldering wreckage of their secrets behind me, and I didn't look back once.